What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game of the Week show, episode number 14. I am your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week first is Chris Grantham.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I almost had to pay you because we've had 3 new subscribers since you turned up last week. Now, I'm not saying it's all you, but, you know, the indications are there, so...
We'll see after this episode.
Yeah. And Ash, welcome back.
Hello.
You miss us? Or me?
No, not really.
No.
I was on holiday, so I'm not going to care.
Yeah, got a nice beard growing in there.
Yeah, I know. It's laziness more than anything.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Anyway, no more beards, let's get on with our show.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who don't know what the Game of the Week show is, it is 3 friends sitting around this table every Monday to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We'll then round out our show with our featured Game of the Week. Okay, so let's get straight on with the news, and number 1 on our list this week, and there is talks between Mojang, or rumoured talks between Mojang and Microsoft with a purchase of the Mojang studio in the region of $2 billion. Now, Chris, we just spoke about Minecraft last week and how it was coming to the new generation. What do you think of this deal?
It's good for both parties. Microsoft know that Mojang have produced, well, at least one very good game, and it's bound to make them more money. So I think it's a good name for them to buy. Yeah, no, I think Minecraft is one of the largest selling games of all time. Just to put that into perspective.
Yeah.
You know, it's still like the second. It still regularly comes up as like the second or third highest selling game in a month on the 360 and like the PS3, even though it came out I don't know how long ago.
It's top selling paid app on iPhone and Android as well. So.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon. I don't understand. Ash, we spoke about it last week. Do you
understand
it?
No, not really. I mean, my son plays it quite a bit, and he's addicted to it, as most kids his age are, 7 and 8 year olds. But I think it's one of those games that it appeals to such a wide age range, and I think that's what's quite clever about it.
Yeah, it's basically Lego in the virtual world, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
But the only thing we would say about this deal is just, would you as a PlayStation fan be worried, or do you think Microsoft will be smart enough to think we've got to still keep it everywhere and not make it
Absolutely.
an Xbox?
Oh yeah, they would.
We'll keep it everywhere.
I think they would. Yeah, I do think they'd have to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe this one they wouldn't take this one off the store, but if it was to ever be a Minecraft 2, you know, then does that become? What do you think, Chris? Do you think they would, or do you think they're purely buying it for what it is now?
I think they're buying it for what it is now. I think it wouldn't make sense for them to start limiting where they sell it or who they sell it to. I think if everyone wants it, so they might as well sell it where they can.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see what happens with this deal. I mean, $2 billion is a lot of money, but if they make another game as successful as Minecraft, then they're going to be quids in for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2 on our list, and it's been announced that GTA 5 is officially coming to PS4 and Xbox One, but we now know the release date. It's going to be November 18th worldwide. Unfortunately for the PC gamers, they're going to have to wait a little while longer. January 27th is that release date. Ash, we've spoken about this before, so we won't go into too much detail, but November 18th now, it's official.
It's good.
You to mark that down?
Yeah, I will. I think it's, I've sort of said this before, but enough time has passed now since playing it through on the PlayStation 3, so I think I probably will get it just to see how different it is on the new gen, current gen.
Well, the trailers definitely make it look pretty.
It does. A bit like The Last of Us. I could see the difference between the two generations, and I've got very high hopes and expectations for this.
Cool, Chris. I know you're a big PC gamer, so that news must be a bit disappointing for you?
I kind of resigned myself to having to wait for it, so an extra couple of months is not going to be an issue.
Have you played it at all yet? Or?
I have played about an hour, but then I decided I'll wait until it's coming out on PC, so I'm looking forward to playing it through for the first time in the best possible format. The best possible format. Controversial statement there. But, no, I mean, I do like the PC community for like seeing all like the mods they make to it. I think that's what makes the game. I remember GTA 4, like all the different mods they made, and that's what makes the PC game fun. Yeah, I think. But
like you said, yeah, it's only a few more months. What's that? There's plenty of games to play in the meantime.
Exactly.
Okay, number 3 on our list, and Watch Dogs is officially coming to the Wii U. It's going to be released on November 18th and November 21st. So there you go. Owners of the Wii U can't buy GTA 5 on November 18th, but you can buy Watch Dogs. It's kind of a similar game, but it's an open world sandbox game. Ash, you played a bit of this game.
I have, yeah. I've still got to get back to it. I just can't find the time at the moment. I've got so many other games on the go at the moment that I'm determined to complete before getting back to Watch Dogs. Yeah. So I do need to get back to it, to be honest. I won't be playing it on the Wii U, let's say, but
no, I mean, I'm not going to bash the Wii U because none of us have a Wii U, so we can't really comment on it. But for Wii U owners, it's good that they're actually finally getting some third-party support, because so many games seem to kind of overlook the Wii U, and they're very much relying on their first-party games. So, Watch Dogs, it sold really well. I think it was like over 5 million units was sold within like the first month. So, it's obviously a popular game, and it's good that the Wii U's getting it. Also, there's for the PS4 and Xbox One owners, there is some DLC coming at the end of this month. You can take on the role of T-Bone, who you might not know yet. He's a character in the game that you come across, Aiden meets. So that's whole new missions, just another way of extending your experience. So that should be good. Chris, did you play this game at all?
No.
Do you have any interest in it, or?
I do, but when at the time it came out, I just didn't have the time to be playing games, so it'll probably be one I'll pick up on the tube at some point.
Yeah, it's a game that divided opinions with a lot of people, didn't it? But there we go. November 18th, Wii U owners has at least one game for you to buy.
Yeah, I think it'd be it's good to see a big title coming to Wii U, so it's good news.
Okay, number 4 on our list, and another release date coming for you, Dying Light, which is going to be available on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4 and PC. That's actually been brought forward, which is a nice change.
It is a very nice change.
So many games getting delayed, having a game coming earlier. They've moved it from, not that much further forward, but from February to January the 27th. Why they've moved it forward? The only reason I can assume is they figured, well, we're pretty much done. January, there's a lot less games coming out than in February, so it makes sense from a business point of view. But we don't need to worry about the business point of view. More importantly, does the game look exciting to you, Ash?
Yeah, I think the good thing with Dying Light is I like the concept of it not just being your typical zombie game. The whole concept of it getting more difficult around sort of as darkness falls, and with it being from the developers of Dead Island, I'm quite excited about that. But I think it just adds something a little bit quirky, a little bit different to a standard zombie game, as there are more than a few of them. Yeah, no, I like
it's first person, so it is very similar to Dead Island. Chris, I showed you the trailer for the first time before. You had a couple of comments on it.
Yeah, it does have its similarities, but then I guess that is to be expected. Same developers.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much so much you can do with
zombies.
Running around killing zombies.
Yeah. The thing I like about this game, and what maybe separates it from Dead Island, is the kind of the free running element. The guy kind of when it first came out, it was kind of compared as a Dead Island Mirror's Edge kind of cross. So that I'm excited to see how it plays. I've already seen trailers, so I've never found a zombie game that I've really liked yet. I've played a lot of them. They're always they always just be fun for a couple of hours and then you turn them off. I mean, you played Dead Rising 3 obviously on the Xbox, same as me. Did you ever invest any time in any zombie games?
Played lots of zombie games because there's even more available on the PC than you get on the consoles. And they all seem to have their one unique selling point. But at the end of the day, killing zombies is quite fun, so I usually play them.
They are fun. I'm not going to say they're not. I haven't found out one zombie game yet where I can invest, like the 20 hours.
Yeah.
It's probably a problem with the stories, really.
How much
story? Yeah, and I think that's why the likes of sort of Resident Evil, for example,
Yeah.
I do like the Resident Evil series, and I'm pretty into that because I've sort of followed it through since very, very early on, and I quite like the story through that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I completely forgot about that game. I'm ashamed of myself. Let's end the video. Okay, number 5 and the final item on our list this week, Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us are both finally coming to the new generation, or the current generation, whichever you want to call it. Walking Dead will be coming out on PS4 and Xbox One in October, and The Wolf Among Us will be coming out in November. Now, I personally love both of these games, like Telltale games, very story driven, almost kind of like an interactive TV show / movie, whatever you want to call it. Have either of you guys dived into these yet, or?
Nope. I haven't really seen much of Wolf Among Us, but seen a bit of Walking Dead, which probably appeals to me more so. But I do like the story-driven decision-making sort of games. Just make it a bit more interesting and a bit more interactive.
So this might be a good time to maybe dive in and pick them up. I mean, it makes sense to come to the new gen because the way these work, they're like episodic games. They release a few episodes in a season.
Yeah.
The games are very popular. They obviously want to keep going. People aren't going to want to keep having their old console, so you've got to move to the new gen.
Yeah.
They were initially on PC. Chris, did you ever play these at all? Do you have any interest in them really, or?
No. I always kind of think about buying them, but never actually do it.
Yeah, it's like, unless you're going to play it, there's no point buying it unless you're actually going to play it. I mean, to be honest, I've only played the first episode of Wolf Among Us, and I haven't played any more, but it's just sitting there on my PS3, which hasn't been plugged in for about 4 months, and it's gathering dust. So I need to plug it back in and play it. But Walking Dead's really good. I'm a big fan of the comics or the graphic novels.
Yeah.
TV show's decent. The games are really good. And anyone out there that hasn't played them, I would strongly recommend checking these out when they come out in October and November, because the stories in them are some of the best stories that you will get in video games.
Yeah, they are good.
How do you know that?
I meant they are. What I realised how it sounded. What I meant was games with stories are good.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. They are good. It's like games with stories are good.
Yeah.
Because I just fit in just to explain.
I think I have to.
I'm a story gamer.
I know you love your story. You'll definitely enjoy these when you check them out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, guys. So now it's that time where we'll talk about our game of the week. And this week, it's pretty obvious. We're going to be talking about Destiny. Everyone's heard of Destiny. The hype train for this game, guys, has been massive.
Yeah.
It's rumoured that Activision spent $500 million on this game, including advertising, which is a huge amount of money. That's like twice as much as what GTA cost, to put that in perspective. But on the flip side, apparently they have already made that money back. Within the first day, they sold in $500 million worth of games, which is a crazy amount. But anyone out there that doesn't know what Destiny is, very quickly, it's basically a first-person shooter game with a lot of MMO elements. You can play with your friends or any other public characters who are in the game at the same time. The story, guys, well, Chris, I know you've played quite a bit of it.
What is the story?
What is the story? I don't know. I haven't played it extensively, but I've played a solid 2 evenings worth so far. So probably around about 7-8 hours. And I don't really know what's going on. All I know is that we are the Guardians, and we have to defeat the Fallen.
Yeah.
We're the Guardians of not the galaxy, but kind of Earth and
the last city.
Yeah.
But in terms of backgrounds, there isn't really.
Do you understand it?
To a certain degree, but it's hardly inspiring.
Maybe that's why I'm not picking up, because it just doesn't grip me. Story doesn't seem to be at the forefront of Bungie's concerns.
No,
I don't think so. I think it's all about the gameplay. Obviously, we talked about the MMO just before there. The idea of this game is that you play in what's called fire teams, which is up to 3 people, and you go across the different planets, which are Earth, Moon. I know Moon. Is Moon a planet? No. But no. Earth, Mars, and Venus, and then there's the Moon as well. And you can choose between a Titan, a Hunter, and a Warlock. Chris, which one did you go with?
I went with Titan in the end.
Titan. That's also what I've gone with. So we've got a vast experience at the table. Ash, you've also played as Titan, so that's basically just your soldier. Actually, you're strong, kind of all guns blazing. The Hunter's more like a stealth guy, sniper, and then the Warlock is kind of a guy with like the magical powers and stuff, basically.
Harry Potter.
So, well, not quite Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, if you choose the female character, I suppose. But what would you say then, on your experience so far, Chris, are the strengths of this game?
Oh, it looks incredible.
It does look good.
Very nice.
It does look good.
Smooth as well. It runs
well. Yeah.
Really smoothly. And even when there's lots and lots of explosions and particle effects and stuff going on, it still runs very well. So
yeah, they've obviously spent a long time, a lot of money, kind of working on the core engine.
Yeah.
Ash, you obviously, we played it a bit before.
Yeah.
What was from someone who, I mean, we're both the same. We've spoke about this game before.
Yeah.
We weren't hugely excited for this game. I mean, everyone else was.
Yeah, it's a really strange game because there's been so much hype about this for 12 months or more now. I mean, it really has been a long time, and I never really thought that it was going to be a game that really, really appealed to me purely because it is a first-person shooter, and there are very few games that appeal to me that are first-person shooter.
Okay.
But the fact that it's quite vague on what the story is and the sort of, you know, what the mission is and really what are you trying to achieve from the game, you know, and I think it's just there's too many unanswered questions there for me to really get really hooked on the game. Playing the game is great, you know. I'm quite happy to pick it up and play it for a bit, but it's not the kind of, I can put it down easily, you know, and I like a game that I don't want to put down and that I stay up all night playing because I love it that much, and this game just doesn't do that for me.
So you're sure it was all the game and nothing to do with the controller that you used? So yeah, we as everyone knows, Ash is PlayStation guy, but he had to go on the Xbox One. First time playing the Xbox, how did it go for you?
It's not the first. Actually, no, it's the first time playing the Xbox One. Yeah. The fact that the analog stick is not exactly in the same place was a
it's
not exactly the same place.
I'm glad you just said not exactly rather than saying the wrong place, because you would have been outvoted this week.
Yeah, it was interesting to kill my first enemy on Destiny and then stand and point at him as opposed to moving. Was we
haven't even covered the most important part of Destiny is. The 4 directional pads, you can do different actions with your character. So you can point at other characters, you can wave at them, you can sit down, and you can have a dance off.
Yeah.
So
it would have been better to dance at the enemy, I think, rather than point.
That's your £50 well spent there. If you can make your character dance. I basically very much agree with what Chris said. It looks stunning, especially kind of, you know, the scenery, not necessarily like your character yourself, but like when you're like at the tower, which is like the hub where you can upgrade all your weapons and upgrade all your armor and get side quests and do all that stuff. When you kind of look out at like Earth from like I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is here, but like kind of you seeing it in like in the distance, that kind of image looks stunning. The elements of first person, I like that it feels familiar, because I'm like you, Ash, I'm not a huge first-person shooter fan, but I did play a fair bit of Halo growing up, so with it being the guys from Bungie, it did feel pretty similar to Halo. Not quite as fast though, I wouldn't say. It felt a little bit slower
Yeah, probably. You probably mainly played Halo multiplayer, though, I would have thought, rather than you wouldn't play the story over and over again. So.
That's true. Yeah. So. And playing with friends. I don't like playing with strangers because they. What?
Strange.
They're strange. No, but like, I don't like being forced to play online with just.
I'm
you know what I mean?
I'm the same.
But like,
I don't like it.
The fact that there's a fire team and the three of you, you know, I can just about scratch together two other mates that I know.
Yeah.
So that's good fun, and the fact that the story you can play it on your own, but you can play it. It's the same story. It's not like you have to do extra missions that you have to get.
Yeah.
I do like that element to it, but at the same time, this game isn't perfect. We've already touched on the story.
Yeah. Was
there anything else that you didn't like, Chris, or was it mainly just the fact that it's a bit uninteresting?
Well, the story, it doesn't seem to have much to it at the moment. But then again, we've only played 8 hours, so I don't know how long this game is meant to be, start to finish, if it ends at all. So the story, I guess, does have time to improve. It's not.
But it's not a good start.
I'm not going to write it off. It's just not. Yeah, it's not started best. Really.
No, that's my only real complaint about the game. Is just, you know, like Ash said, there's nothing. Even when I've been playing, I could easily kind of turn it off at the same. There's nothing kind of drawing you in, and that's what a good story really does. And
yeah, it does. Keeps you hooked.
There's a lot of games that I feel sometimes, especially first-person shooters and multiplayer games, like your Call of Duties and your Battlefields, they feel they can do is people just like playing those kind of shooter games, so they don't feel like they need the story. But when this is a single-player, multiplayer element all rolled into one, I think you need that thing to hook you.
I think you do. I think you need something that's going to just keep people, you know, with the competition that there is nowadays with games, and you know, every week there are 2 or 3 more games coming out. I think you need something that's going to keep players hooked on your game, and I think they need to try and, you know, make this appeal to as many gamers as possible. Now, I'm not totally against first-person shooters. I do play Call of Duty games, and I will pick it up and I'll enjoy it. And there is a little bit of a story there. And I'd say it probably has more of a story than this does. But I think you just need a bit of everything to try and appeal to as many people. And on this occasion, I think that added extra bit of information and story would actually, you know, keep more people playing and it make it more an enjoyable game. Because the game looks great, it plays well, but I just think it needs a bit more.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not something that they can just fix with an update. So
I'm not saying that, but you know, Destiny 2, whatever.
Yeah, well, the point is, this game's already been a success. Like, will it have a staying power? Do you think, Chris? Just kind of closing up here. Will it have the staying power of like a Call of Duty? Will people be playing this all the way up to the next Destiny, or do you think it will be like Titanfall and kind of fade away after a few months?
I think Bungie know how to deal with these kind of games, and they've done it in the past with Halo. Halo 2 was still a huge success, and then all the way through there's been so many Halo games, and I think Bungie will probably do the same again with this. I think they're setting themselves up really to create another new universe and more games, lots more games.
Oh, this will without a doubt be one of the kind of primary franchises for this generation.
Yeah.
You know, it's already broken records as being the fastest selling new game of all time.
Most pre-sales.
The list goes on. So this is to prove that, you know, a lot of people and a lot of kind of the news editors and people out there haven't actually reviewed this game yet because of they couldn't review it until they could experience it.
Yeah.
But people have still gone and bought it, which kind of just shows you what a strong marketing kind of goal can do for you.
Yeah.
One final thing we'll very quickly touch on is the trophy/achievements for all the trophy hunters out there. There's 40 trophies in total. I've already popped about 8 or 9 achievements, I suppose, on Xbox, but for the most part, we had a quick look at the list before, Chris. They seem all pretty achievable.
Yeah.
It's not, if it's one that you want to chase, I think you could probably do so after, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 hours of gameplay. I don't think it's something that will be impossible.
Yeah, it's not one of these achieve level 100 in multiplayer mode where, like the GTA does, you know, where you have to literally give hundreds and hundreds of hours of online gaming.
No, I think, I mean, I was only looking at the list. I mean, maybe some of them I'm underestimating how hard they are.
Perhaps, yeah.
But they all sound reasonable. There wasn't one that I looked. But then again, there's sometimes where you look at one and go, oh, I only have to do those 3 things. That sounds easy. But then you find out that they are impossible. So,
like Watch Dogs.
Hey, I got a platinum on that now.
I know you did.
Yeah. Proud. Anyway, right, let's give our initial impression score, Chris, between 1 to 10. I know obviously this isn't final because, like you said, you haven't completed the story. You know, we're only around level 10 at the moment, so you've still got a long way to go, a lot more weapons to unlock. But on that initial impression, where is it at the moment? Obviously it can still go either way, but
I think it's got to be a solid 7, maybe pushing itself towards an 8 for me. I think it's brilliant fun. I kind of enjoy the loot and grinding. So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff there to collect for. Yeah, there was a lot of hours in this game if you want to. Even if the story isn't the strongest, there is still a lot of stuff there, and I would completely agree with you.
I think it's got a lot of replayability as well, and they send you back into the same maps over and over. So
yeah, well, obviously you can play it with the 3 different classes, which will give you the 3 different, I assume, kind of different ways that you play the game.
Yeah.
And I would completely agree with you. Like 7.5, 8 would be where I'd go. It's not perfect, but it's fun. If you buy it, I mean, there's a lot of hate on the internet, but people like to hate on things that are popular.
Yeah,
and that's. I won't ask you for a score, Ash, because you haven't really.
Yeah, based on half an hour of playing the game, I'd say it's somewhere around a 7 for me. But yeah,
it's a bit too early to really.
It's far too early to really know for sure. But I would think I probably will end up buying the game. Just not yet because I've got so many games to play.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I probably will pick it up at some point.
Yeah, I think anyone that does pick it up as well will have a good time, and don't always believe the haters out there, because this game is really dividing opinions with a lot of people out there. Call of Duty did that because it was popular, and there's a lot of people out there that like Call of Duty, and like you said before, they're fun games.
Yeah.
Just don't go in there expecting the best game ever.
Yeah.
But if you want a good time and you haven't picked it up, then make sure you do. Okay guys, there you go. There is our opinion on Bungie's Destiny. So if you've liked what we've talked about this week, please do subscribe to our channel. If you want to talk about Destiny or any of the news topics we've discussed this week, please leave a comment down below. We will respond to you. For now, Ash, Chris,
Cheers.
Thank you for your time. And everyone out there, we will see you next Monday.